Does that count as me breaking something? Is the stream official already? Because I accidentally went live in the wrong place entirely. Oh dear. Hello, Farming Boy. Oh, Farming Boy, Pat, Matty, Hugh, Stew, Sinman15, Pat again, Delvacity, it's Jake Scoggerland, and Thy Bounty Hunter. That's 2 days in a row I've made the exact same mistake, by the way. Latency should be good today, though, in theory. Practice might be different, but hey, we're doing it live. Also, has it disconnected from... It's disconnected from YouTube chat. Restream, why? How do I fix this? It's saying it sent a message, but it hasn't. Oh no, has it sent it to the... No. I might need to restart my chat app, just bear with. Hey, Shadowbox. I just need to, It's done something weird and I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. Literally the only streamer to be able to pronounce your YouTube name. Hello, Robert Kirk and Devin as well. Twitch, ignore the messages that just say test. I'm trying to fix YouTube. It's not working. Why are you doing this? No, seriously, why? Why though? It's done something, I don't know what it's done, but YouTube chat isn't showing up. Well, I'll have both chats side by side so I can read everything. Oh dear. So I think when we left off we were spraying this field? Yes. That's a no bueno. It's just a thing that's happened. It's probably because I did a false start on the stream, but I don't know why. Hello, Lana King. If you're on YouTube, I apologize for your chat messages not showing up on stream. YouTube's doing a thing. How do you move a save game from backup to normal saves? Do you literally just drag and drop? You should have to. We're running 9 days seasonally, yes. Exclamation mark insanity for the rules. And you will get a listings of the rules. Any word on Lone Oak? It's with giants. You're rendering a video, so I have your full attention for a change. Nice. Do you have to rename? You shouldn't have to. So, out of curiosity, who watched the video this morning? The truly rare occasion where I actually brought out a video. Welcome to Rainbow Dave Gaming, where technical difficulties are just the norm, and when something goes well, I'm kind of surprised. see now there's a snowblower? I didn't. I haven't checked the mod hub today. I've been getting very bad at checking the mod hub and stuff. You haven't yet, but well. See, look, I'm not the only one with constant technical difficulties. ASB is having similar. Granted, I accidentally filled my hard drive with ortho the other day, so. Whoops. It was a first look video, yeah. Of a map that a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting. Including me to a certain extent. Like, I find it honestly very hard to get interested in maps, just down to the fact that people tend to get bored after 2-3 weeks. I'm not going to be rinsing that map with content, by the way. What's the Insanity Challenge? Exclamation mark Insanity 2019 farming. And Nightbot will give you the rundown of the rules that I'm running over here. Is Nightbot not here? No, it doesn't work? Oh. I do not know then. But Nightbot I have set up so that it will give you the rules. It's in a Google Doc. I'm not entirely sure if I've got rid of one or two of the rules. The bot of night is there on the tube of you. That's kind of creepy. It does work. I mean, I with the way this week has been going for streams, I'm not trusting anything. It also works on Twitch, by the way. If you use the command on Twitch, it brings up MooBot. Fix one issue, 3 more. Pretty much. That seems to be my life with technology. It's like, I fixed it, and the other thing's broken. Ah, ha, ha. Right. So, things what I need to do in the nearish future is wait for these to ferment into silage, denoodle them, and pile them up somewhere. Should have the game on 5 times speed. I probably should actually, kind of by default, but what we're going to be doing now is just zipping through some time. Because I want to get to... I'm gonna say like late summer, possibly. As late as late summer. Mark Metal Gamer, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy the stream. How's Dave today? Dave is good. I'm good today. I had a cheese. Do you know what? Some people are gonna feel really sick when I say what I had for breakfast, but it was delicious. A chicken, cheese, and corned beef toasty. It was absolutely delicious. Right, let's just stop the speedies. So that everything's synchronized. Right. Sit rep, we're at 4.5k, that's not good. No, that doesn't sound bad. It was absolutely delicious. As bad as it might sound to some people, it was just a combination of random foodstuffs. It was delicious. Right, I think the best thing I can do is get some fertilizer down on 30... 29, 30, and 31. To get 29, 30 up to full, and 31 up to being slightly less weird. Imsa Laguna Seca, oh god. Why are you driving sideways? You're able to respond. I tried Imsa Laguna Seca in the R8 before, and it didn't end well. That doesn't sound nice. It was delicious! Hey, SFTN. The Merc? I haven't driven the Merc in iRacing. I have the Audi. Or had the Audi. I no longer subscribe to iRacing because I can't justify the expense. Do I have a fertilizer spinner of some description? Genuinely can't remember. Actually, let's use... Yeah, let's use the deer. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's use the deer and just immediately drop the pallet fork on the ground. Okay, I mean... That's what I wanted to do. Your class C? When I quit iRacing, I was being elevated to B. So I was just after qualifying for a B license. When's this map out? You know as much as I do, quite honestly. It's been sent to Giants and Swift Giants. It's in testing with Giants. Everything beyond that, I don't know. Just bear in mind that there is quite a long wait to get stuff tested at the moment, so you might be waiting a little while. Do I need to... Did I seriously not have a fertilizer spinner? Yeah, Sideways, if you want some fun races, assuming you have the tracks, the Radicals are amazing. Or at least were when I was doing it. I don't have a spinner. That's kind of annoying. Waiting time is 14 working days. It was sent to Giants a while back, so it's probably towards... I don't want to say it's at the front, but it's probably in the front half of the queue now. You have a track and all. Yeah, try out the Radical Sideways. They're difficult to learn, but once you figure it out, the speed is hilarious. Now, I've heard that the Formula 3 cars are really fun as well. And the Skippy's on the new tire model. Just eating cookies and watching, very nice. Steve? They won't send livestock to Mars. Might do some practice on them later. Wasn't the Radical death trap? Yes, but it was a hilarious death trap. It was... The thing about the Radical is because it's a fixed series, you're all dealing with the same setup, and the setup is never good. iRacing setups are kind of known for being bad. So everybody was kind of skipping and sliding around with the same setup, and it was really fun! Because every race kind of broke off into packs, and kind of supposing you survived and you're even reasonably fast, you would almost always get into the top 10. All you had to do was not die. So my tactics in the Radical races were just don't die, and I kept getting top 5s. This is in like the top split as well, with the best drivers. My entire tactic was don't die. Because I was faster than the slow guys in the split, but slower than the actual fast boys. Hang on a second, do I have the wrong tires on this? Apparently not. Just noticed the Top Gun shirt, great taste. Well, thank you. I've had this shirt for years. This is like a... Oh god, I had this when I was in... Oh god! This is like a 15-year-old t-shirt. I feel old now. This t-shirt is possibly older than some of you guys. Fast Boys. Yeah, I was behind the aliens, but I was kind of top of the humans. Shall we say? So like I was borderline top split. I think my I rating is about 2k, which will mean something to Sideways and literally anybody who plays iRacing, but nothing to anybody else. It was about 2k IR. Maybe 2.2. Do I have a Maverick t-shirt? No. Hello, Alex. You're older than the shirt. So am I, oddly. Will Perfect Valley Farm be out before Christmas? I don't know. Tom doesn't know. Nobody knows, Dylan. That's straight up the answer I can give you. It will be out when it's out, much like any other map. There's no guarantees that it'll be out today, tomorrow, whenever. Chat is very right. It is! I think some of my settings for Restream have been changed on the sly. I'll try and fix it up for tomorrow. I'll rejig Restream to actually look good and hopefully work. And hopefully I'll remember to actually set some settings. Have I considered getting No! I genuinely dislike PewDiePie. I think it's an awful character. Because I don't think that Felix Kjellberg, the guy who plays PewDiePie, is that person in real life off camera, because he does a lot of charity stuff. Yeah, now I'm tempted to watch Top Gun. Or at the very least, listen to Danger Zone. Because, I mean, that's what really made Top Gun good, was Danger Zone. You fakes an online personality. Welcome to YouTube, where everybody fakes an online personality. That is just the thing. That, like, as negative as that sounds, everybody on YouTube is or plays a character. Even me, even Landy, even Dagwin, everybody plays a character because humans are boring people. Granted, most... I mean, Twitch isn't much better, ASB. One of the top Twitch streamers is a guy in a wig and fake mustache. Kung Pao. I have never watched Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, but that's kind of my point, is like, you can't be successful and be yourself to an extent. You have to be a character. For once you're not at work. Martin, are you okay? Are you ill? You feeling ill, Martin? Is that why you're not at work? Yanis, if you want to see a truly so bad it's good movie, you need to watch The Room by Tommy Wiseau. The Room. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, dear. That goes for anybody, by the way. It's not exactly a PG movie, but the plotline is barely there. Farmer's Dynasty? Is that coming out again? Because that was out last year or the year before. Abdul, do it without the space, dude. It'll work without the space. I'm doing good today. I had quite a large breakfast of 2 toasted sandwiches with... I just loaded them with, like, leftover chicken sandwiches from yesterday. And then, like, a pack of corned beef. And 2 slices of cheese per sandwich. They're huge and meaty and delicious. And I'm still quite full. So I might annoy somebody here, but I'll give you a rundown of what's been going on with Farmer's Dynasty. It's a farm sim wannabe with RPG elements, some really good ideas. However, not long after launch, it got DMCA'd by people think John Deere, people think Giants, people think Farm Expert. Nobody quite knows. It is based off of, from what I can tell, the Farm Expert engine, which has severe limitations. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere fast. It seems to be very much along the same lines as Cattle and Crops, where they're very good ideas, but I can't see them doing anything with those ideas. It kind of, the DMCA thing that happened with them, and they didn't send me a key, so like as cheapskatey and as rude as it sounds, I'm not overly interested. The guys that have been sent keys have said it's good, but not good enough to be paying for. Do I play ETS 2? Sometimes, yes. I haven't played ETS in a long ass time though. But here's the big issue with Farmers Dynasty is they have no branded equipment, which the RPG stuff, yeah, that's kind of a hook to get people in, but at the same time, you know, it's a farming game in 2019. Giants have basically all the brands, so realistically, if you want to have a farming game that's actually going to succeed now, you need to have, at the very least, and this is the go-to for a lot of games, McCormick, Landini, kind of the tiny brands that probably won't make it to Farm Sim as full licenses. Because they're not huge names in farming outside of like a few countries. My Summer Car and House Flipper are amazing in the first release. My Summer Car I think is still good. House Flipper gets old very fast. Is the problem, it's very repetitive. I'll say the same is true to Audacity of basically everything from Playway. Also, hello James. Everything... One interesting thing did happen, Yanis. Yeah, there was a John Deere in the game, but it suddenly got removed and repainted. And not long after that, there was the DMCA claim. So that's why people think it could have been Giants. Or possibly even John Deere. But the developers were claiming it was a rival company, so people are thinking it was Giants or the guys behind Farm Expert or something like that. Bradley, hello. Sonaudiophile says John Deere. Yeah, they literally had to really quickly retexture one track in the game. It was a Model A. What's with the on-screen chat in white? What's with the on-screen chat in white is it's all broken and I'm not entirely sure how. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Chat. No, but that's not what I wanted. Appearance. Compact mode. Oh no, wait. Hang on. Let's turn you off while I faff about with this. That's not what I wanted. Restream, embed and stream. Theme. Default compact. Default bottom. 40. 10, 100. Copy that and paste it in there and hit apply, and it's seemingly done nothing. Maybe if I refresh it. Oh, I am streaming though. Hang on a second. Restream is saying that I'm not streaming. That's interesting. Wonder if I can just do something cheeky here. Right, now. YouTube stream now, connect that account, then this account, allow. Okay, that's interesting. Can I try adding... Okay, so it won't let me do that, but if I delete that, yes, and then add this, 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 yes, no. That's really interesting. It's... yeah, it's just not hooking up to the YouTube chat at all today. Have I broken it? It broke itself, oddly enough. For once, it's not actually my fault. This picture of a tractor looks like a fan, just had a stickers on the scene page. That's what a lot of companies do when they debrand tractors, or have to use unbranded tractors. They'll just take actual tractors and then just take the stickers off and make them in weird colors. Makes a change. Yeah, it does. Don't know why Restream Chat has decided it wants to be white today, but it has. At least this tech issue is down to Restream just doing a weird. Also, the mod request for better minimap, or advanced minimap, or whatever it was called before, still there. Still would like it, because I hate having to, you know, keep going into the menu like this to just check where I am. It'd be amazing if I could say pop up the minimap and have the layers on it. That would be super cool. I would love for a modder to get on that as an idea, because I don't have the knowledge nor skill to do that, which sucks. Nor do I have the time to invest in gaining that knowledge. Getting the combine ready for a harvest and its headers. Why is your combine headers? Hello Sam, how you doing today, dude? More food. Enjoy, Yanis. You fatty. Hit button on Twitch is so bad. I forgot to fix that. Thought I'd be on perfect. I don't want to. Here's the thing. It's a fantastic map. I really like it. Thing is, I don't know when it's coming out. I don't want to be that guy who's just rinsing a map for the sake of rinsing a map. I want to be able to promote the map and say, hey, here's a map that's coming soon. Like what I'm doing here. Like, this map is coming soon. It's just a case of when Giants get around to testing it. I want to be able to say, here's a map that's coming soon. It's with Giants. It's blah 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 promotion. I don't want to be just, you know, playing on a map for the sake of playing on a map. And if that somehow insults somebody, then I apologize, but that's the way... Your son's a bit confused as to you being able to message me. Can I say hello to Michael? Hello, Michael. Hope you really do enjoy Farm Sim. Hope, hope you listen to your dad and do what he tells you to. Will I do them people simplify and perfect? No. And that's not down to me, effectively. That's not my decision. Sim's got a lot going on in his real life stuff at the moment. He's got a lot of big changes coming up. Fahy has a job and seemingly is just gone whenever I'm around. He's a massive grin, but he doesn't listen. Well, he should. So, the simple answer for multiplayer for Simfight, regardless of the map, it ain't gonna happen just because timing is a thing. And we all have various different things going on. Like I've got stuff going on that actually takes up a surprising amount of time. Where I'm working on documents for stuff. For example, I want to show you the notes for one document. See how thick this paper is here. This is notes for one document, for one thing. It's gonna be a few days or weeks before I even have the first draft of that finished. And I need to do that after the stream. It's on my list, my constant list of things what I need to do. When's the next MP? It's on Monday. And how do you know what mods to get? Exclamation mark Deddy Deets, Matty. So if you put exclamation mark DEDI all, no spaces there at all, into chat, Nightbot, or if you do it in Discord as well, Nightbot will pop up and give you a link to the mods that are on the server. I need to update one mod, so the server is going to be coming down temporarily later. You've forgotten E there, Matty. D-double-E-T-S. Tom is underrated, you say he's up there with Oxy. Thing is about Tom, right? I think he's a fantastic map maker. I'm not going to argue that point. But people hold him in such high regard. I don't think that he is actually underrated. Like, you look at Purbeck, and you go through the communities, and everybody's been kind of hyped for Purbeck since it was announced, so I disagree with you in that people think Tom's underrated, because anything he does gets massive hype and love from the community. Yeah, I think the community holds him in about the right regard for his skills. He's held up there with Oxy by a lot of people. And bear in mind that it's going to come down to personal preferences at kind of the top level of modding, who's better than who, so I prefer personally Oxy style maps. They just tend to suit my playstyle a bit better and be a bit more freeform for me. Purbeck, though, has a lot going for it. Hey, Mexican. Was Tom's map in FS17? It was Knaveswell in FS17 and FS15, and I didn't actually reply to the comments on the video, but there were a few comments saying, isn't this just Knaveswell? And yes, the northeast corner is. The rest is not. It is kind of a Knaveswell extended. Purbeck versus Greenwich, which would I say? Purbeck speaks to me more, Sam. Purbeck, I don't know, it's got more of a flow to it for me. But like I said, with the best maps, it's going to come down to personal preference, which ones you like and which ones you don't. And for me, like, Greenwich is very, very good. It is definitely a top map, but it just doesn't speak to me. It doesn't have the X factor for me. Like, that's why I put it on the multiplayer server. Like, I want to play it, but it doesn't have an ingredient that I can't even describe. It just doesn't have that feeling for me. It does for Landy, but for me it doesn't have that magic feeling where I know I can do special things with it. And do interesting things with it. Something about the old Knaveswell yard, which is amazing. Fun fact, I actually didn't like Knaveswell. As much as the Knaveswell series did well on the channel, as much as you guys loved it, I never got on with that map. Just again, it was missing the inexplicable X factor for me. Like it's no disrespect to Tom. Error attach. Purbeck looks like it's gonna be your go-to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be my go-to. I think honestly, once it's ready to go and once it's out, yeah, actually it was. Once it's ready to go and out or coming out, it'll be Shamrock Valley for me. Because that just it legitimately makes me feel things. Like, it reminds me of so many places that I've been around Ireland and that I have good memories of, that I can't not like Shamrock. Which, by the way, is why I defend Shamrock constantly, or defended it constantly in 17, is because it genuinely, like, gave me goosebumps at times with how much it reminded me of certain places that I've been. Shamrock Extended would be nice. I don't know. Why am I yawning? I don't know if you'd want to extend Shamrock too much. Now, I know Oxy is planning some small changes to the map. Just for reasons of it's 19 and it's Oxy and he always makes small changes. That's just one of his things. But I don't know if full-on extended would be a good idea with Shamrock. I like the fact that it's all kind of enclosed and kind of tied in together. Did I play Ballincraig? Literally once, and I really didn't like it. It was a map that just did not agree with me. You'd lost interest in 17 by the time it came out. I think a lot of people did, Addy. There is a bit of an Irish feel to Purbeck. It's very tight and enclosed, and that's kind of what the Irish feel should be, to an extent. Is like, I've been asked a few times, like, describe your perfect Irish map as it's just really just a feeling of being enclosed. Like, it's the perfect Irish map should be claustrophobic without being overly tight. Playing terrible as usual. I mean, it's me, Aaron, so yes. Bancrake's going to be good. Only if they changed the main yard and made it a bit bigger and more accessible. Like, that's claustrophobic, but because it's way too tight. That's kind of my problem with race time. Good luck, Sideways. In before turn 1 4x. That was kind of always my problem with Ballincraig, was it was excessively tight. I'm a daddy boo. Steve, I think Oxy would be better off focusing on newer mods, newer maps, instead of constantly revisiting the same, 4 or 5, which granted they're, 4 or 5 really, really popular maps, but he can't really progress at all if he's constantly just doing the same few maps. Do I think Bilbo will come back for FS21? I mean, I can't predict what he's gonna do, Sam. I'd like to see him come back. Yeah, I think the game is slightly worse off for him not being around, but at the same time, if he doesn't want to come back, he doesn't want to come back. Now, I have heard that this is quite hilarious with the... how long it... oh! Okay. We'll just sit up here and watch the world go by for a bit. Yeah, Bradley, Restream broke a bit, and I can't figure out a way to fix it. I was really happy too, Sam. But, he doesn't like 19, that's his decision. I'm not gonna complain about a decision that he made for himself. Watching the shadow was really pleasing somehow. How are all the crops doing? They're all growing perfectly fine. We are now into the negatives, though, monetarily. Did I see Purbeck? Aaron, look at the channel! Look at what I put up today. Or this morning. Great demand on your cell point. We don't have any manure, but what we do have... what are we waiting on now? We were waiting on the grass to... well, we're waiting on, number 1, the grass to grow, and number 2, the grass to dry out a bit, because it was it still had the wet crop warning. Because it is time to make the hay. Purbeck's very nice. Oakfield tomorrow? I'm thinking, yeah. Thinking tomorrow would be a good day to do some Oakfield goodness. Do I know who else got early access to Purbeck but has not made a video yet? I know of at least one person. However, I don't know if they want to make a video. I do know that Dargoin copied me, which is kind of hilarious. And as I said in Discord, how dare he use one of the two clearly accessible vehicles? You know, 50-50 shot, and it just happened to be the same vehicle that I did. I don't care. How'd you get the in-game command console up? You need to edit an XML, Matty. Or I guess you could download the Easy Dev command mod, is it called? Easy Dev Tools? And then you just have to press F11 and it might work. I don't know if you need the dev mode actually active for... Okay, Thor, calm down. This grass doesn't look fully grown. Because it's not. Field 23 hour is ready to harvest. We do actually have some fields ready to harvest at the moment. Was that thunder? Yes, that was thunder, and I'm not entirely sure why. Let's bring this back up. And, what's the growth looking like for today in game? We're at 67%, 13% moisture. Yeah, let's... T560L would be good for Burbeck. Maybe a bit big. Easy. Is it easy dev controls? It's called. I presume you don't need DevTools active to use easy dev controls. That the mod activates it by itself almost. But I'm not sure. Right. Let us grab you. You said you had grass, and then I realized that the grass isn't fully grown yet. So, no grass for now. Instead, we're going to do a bit of a harvesting. You'll be in Mahara for a week or so. What the hell is in Mahara? I'm sure they're ready. Well, I mean, it's showing they're ready on the map. Plus, I mean, I'm loving how this combine wades. Like, it's showing that the oats are ready in field 31. See the beta trailers being worked on for FS19. I've seen a lot of trailers being worked on, and I'm gonna say the same thing that I say about every set of trailers: is trailers are trailers are trailers. I find it very difficult to get excited by them. Yep, 100% grown. We can do a harvesting. Your friend's family, you're going with him? Fair enough. Do I use a wheel or keyboard and mouse? No. I sometimes use a wheel, but today I'm using my Xbox controller. Trailers are containers with wheels. Pretty much, yeah. You forgot I've got the Midwest Geo active, so some of the crop growth and stuff is going to be a bit different to base game values. Or kind of base seasons values, I guess. And it looks like the oat yield is very low. Well, that was a shambles. So, sideways, how many turns did you make it? how many turns did you survive? Did you at least make it to turn 1? You miss having a PC? What happened to your PC, Bradley? I'm not being mean to Sideways, by the way. I know how GT3s work in iRacing. And I know how iRacing drivers tend to work. Also, Sideways, are the GT3s on NTM V7? Or are they on NTM V6? Or what tyre model are the GT3s actually on? Because I'm gonna guess it sounds like they might be on the new tyre model and everybody forgot that the tyres needed to warm up first. Made it past the corkscrew brakes to avoid losing spot. They're on V6. Yeah, V6 can be a bit unforgiving at times. Especially once you start losing grip, it's just gone forever if you do. So you were heading down to the kind of fast-ish third gear corner before the final hairpin, or were you at the much faster fourth gear corner before that? Were you coming up to the left or the right? After the corkscrew. Or the second left, I guess. Ever figure out about Hestons and Seasons? No, I didn't actually. Landy reckons they might work. I reckon I don't want to try it with either of the saves that I have. I don't want to risk like making this huge, like making even one bale and then it being eaten by Seasons. The first left. Oh wow, so immediately after the corkscrew? That is a terrible place to lose it. Very easy to lose it there, but a terrible place. I mean, sometimes all you can do is just brace for impact. You see, Heston's on your Seasons map, it runs fine. Interesting. I might swap out the Baylor for Heston's. Hey Henry. Your CPU took it up and created it up. Sorry, I did read it the first time, I just didn't read it out loud, Bradley. That kind of sucks. Why did the big wreck went left to avoid? Could you not... I know this is hindsight talking. Could you potentially have gone right? Was there space right, or was the accident kind of trending to the right? And I mean, if there was nothing you could do to avoid it, you were going to be out of the race one way or another. That's the kind of crash where you want to be looking at the replay and figuring out, how could I have done better and not got myself into this situation? Obviously going faster would have helped, going slower probably would have helped. But with the speed you were going, how could you have avoided it? If at all. Backed up everything onto a memory disk. Well, or memory stick. That's not the end of the world then, Bradley. Welcome back, Jans. Henry can't wait for the new class. I'm looking forward to Platinum. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not overly excited for much with Farm Sim at the moment, because I'm just not finding the game as fun as I kind of usually do. It's just, I don't know. It feels very samey at the moment, even with Seasons. It's just kind of, I almost feel like I'm going through the motions at times. Could have gone right into the gravel. Yeah, that's how you avoid it next time. You have to, Sideways, you gotta try and predict where the accident is going to be when you get there. And get into a position where you're not going to be in the accident. Sounds like simple advice, but when you've got maybe half a second to make a decision, You know, it's not as easy as you might think. And comically, sometimes the single best thing you can do is fling it in the direction you want the car to go, intentionally lose control, and just slam the brakes hoping that they'll stop you. What I need is I've seen the pictures of that shy, no thanks. I don't want potato explosion. Rob showed me the pictures you sent him. So my thoughts on Perfect. I think it's really good. It's not something that I want to rinse right now because I don't want to ruin it for people, but I think it looks really good. First race Class C, so learning curve. Sideways. I don't know if you race this normally, but I would strongly suggest, even though they're on the B7 model of tires, the skip barbers are spectacular for learning racecraft. You learn so much. You're gonna crash quite a bit at first in the skippies, but you learn so much racecraft. You'd need to buy the skippies. Buy a skippies, seriously. Like, I don't know how many iRacing streams you watch. Everybody recommends the skippies for a reason. You learn so much because they're all so even, and they're open setup, but there's very little you can actually change about the skippies. And they're evil yet forgiving. Also, you'll need to learn the new tire model, and the skip barbers are controllable. So that probably helps. They also, by the way, have the new damage model, as far as I'm aware, sideways. So you might want to hit a couple of walls just to watch bits of the car fly off. And you never... Laguna Seca, how did you never really run Laguna Seca? You must have done in Rookie. Laguna Seca was my go-to track when I was a rookie in iRacing. Yosh Clover was a 19. I do as well, but I don't want... This is maybe going to contradict myself here, but I want Cobra, but I don't want a conversion of Cobra. I want, if there was to be a Cobra, the one that Bullet Bill was going to remake. So while I'm sad that there's no Cobra, I'm also glad that there are very few, if any, conversions that are bad. Such as the only section of Laguna I have issue with is actually, comically, the left directly after the corkscrew. You're on Mazda's Nokiyama. I mean, to be fair, that's a good track to learn the Mazdas on. Although I did win a race at, it wasn't Lime Rock, was it? No, it wasn't Lime Rock. It was the Jefferson course of whatever, the Jefferson layout of whatever the hell circuit has the Jefferson layout. I won a Mazda race on that a while back. I won a few skippy races as well. Hey Jack, it's going good. How's it going with you, dude? Bullet Bill make maps again, do you think? He's still making maps, just not publicly. And not for 19. He's making a map for himself and his friends for 17. Which... I applaud him for doing that. He's doing what he wants. Okay, I mean, in general... This is, unless they were running the full in the Mazda, which I know they do sometimes, it's usually the short layout, which has some very tricky corners. Yes. Okayama Short is just There's like a double hairpin they're both just awkward. And you basically have to decide which part of the hairpin complex you want to sacrifice to get a good entrance or exit. But the full course is quite nice. Struggle with parts of it, but it's quite nice. Doing good? Good to hear, Jack. First bit of the track. Yeah, the first bit's a bit strange, and then like the double hairpin complex, that's a shortcut, that's very weird. Better maps than 17? Depends on what you want for maps. I think 19 is slightly better maps, personally. And I'm not too pushed by the John Deeres. I think 19 is better mods. I think the modding quality from 17 to 19 is a big step forward from modders, and I've got to applaud them for that. Sure, Giants are being a bit more picky with what mods get onto the mod of and what ones don't. And that's kind of sucky, but at the same time, yeah, you got to applaud when the mod quality is just straight up increasing. You like the double hair? I really don't. No, you mean towards the end of the track. No, the one at the end of the track is really nice. Because you got the really slow one that kind of ruins all of your momentum, and then you got the slightly faster one afterwards that you still need to brake for because it's just at that awkward distance. But I mean on the short track where there's like the double tight right-hander. It's not quite a double hairpin. The double tight right-hander that is just awkward. It doesn't flow with the rest of the track at all. Hello, Tig, by the way. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like the double right is awkward. The double hairpin is awkward enough as well because it's just the distance between the two is just the exact right amount that you need to put a bit of awkward braking in. I know 1K iRating Class C. iRating's not what does the classes sideways. It's SR. So just keep it clean and you'll get up. You'll actually stay in C fairly happily. See you, Martin. Enjoy the rest of your day off, dude. So, sideways, you need to look at your safety rating, not your I rating. Licenses are done based on how safe you are, not how fast you are. I've seen people with an A license and 300 I rating. When do I reckon Shamrock Valley we have? It won't be for a while, I think, Tyke. Like, if Tom were to upload it to the mod hub in the exact configuration it was sent to me and Chris and SFTN and a few others and Dagwin, you'd be looking at probably 6 weeks, because it'd be about 3 weeks for the first test, which would come back as a fail, because he's got logos on the map itself, which is a fail, I guess. No disrespect to Tom, I'm gonna guess there's some material errors on there, because that's just a thing that happens with like 90% of with maps. Oxy has awful problems, just material errors appearing when it's sent to Giants. So I'd expect there to be a few material problems, and generic the map will not pass first time warning that I give to everybody, because it's generally the case. That's assuming he's putting it through Giants. He could, for all I know, release it on Modhoster. You know, I don't know where he's planning on releasing it, so it's entirely down to that. But if he sends it to Giants, which I think is the smartest idea for him, then he's looking at a highly likely first-time fail, just because that's par for the course, and then like fixing everything afterwards and getting it all cushy to hopefully pass the second time and not fail on something that appeared magically when it was sent to Giants the second time, or something they said was fine first time and failed on second time. IMSA, Pro Mazda, Porsche Cup, and GT Challenge on Seika. The reason behind that sideways is it's a free track. Like in week 13, people usually buy new cars, and it gives them a chance. You'll notice that a lot of the different series will be at a free track in the first 2 weeks. It's just to give them a chance to experience see what it's like to race the car itself instead of doing practice or testing. So I'm not entirely surprised that there's a lot going on at Laguna. You'll probably find a few go to the old Daytona road course, which is free now. A few will go to Okayama. I've seen a couple go to Pocono, one of the road courses on Old Pocono, which those are memes. You'll probably see a couple on the Charlotte Roval as well. And then on the oval side, you'll see a lot of different series just inexplicably all congregating at Charlotte and Old Daytona. Oh, the empty animation. This is borked. First time being subbed for week 13. Did you take part in the series that was just crashes, as far as I could see, with the Mazdas? By the way, a lot of the week 13 series don't impact a damn thing, so they're literally just fun. I know there was one series with the Mazdas, the Formula 3 cars, and didn't do any. Oh, dude, that's half the fun of week 13. I was watching one streamer, and he was in a race with Formula 3 Mazdas and LMP1 cars at Charlotte, like the long infield course, road course at Charlotte. It was hilarious. Have I just seen Jordan Taylor's Pocono crash analysis on Twitter? I haven't, but I can imagine this track is not safe. Why are they trying to fix this crash barrier with something intended to just keep people and animals out of something? Oh, you watched Malone? Yeah, that was the race I was talking about, sideways. That was hilarious. Sideways, if you're in Discord, could you link that race to Yanis so that you can see true memes? So you can see what happens when super serious sim racers do sillies. Oh, Harry McNay. Because there's one guy just sat on the side of the track for 5 laps. End result of the video was it was Ericsson's fault. The LMP1. Yeah, that was the same LMP1 sideways that was stuck on the wall for 3 laps. He'd managed to dislodge it and then spun it and just gave up and sat literally on the side of the track. causing more accidents. If it's PG, do you mean the Malone video? Malone is not PG. Generally speaking. iRacing is generally not PG. Oh, the one you're talking about, okay. Devin, I don't remember you, I'm afraid, but I'm glad to hear that I helped you somehow. I need to get a new trackhat sensor. Not happy with the hat at all. We're in what, late summer. Got some harvesting going on. We'll have literally some straw after this. You bought trackhat a few weeks back. It's a big improvement. From what I understand, Devin, trackhat sensors are better, but the actual, you know, the trackhat camera is better, but the actual light up majigs, the trackhat ones of those are better. So people tend to buy the trackhat clips for trackIR because they work just as well. And they're a lot cheaper than the actual trackIR ones. There's a trackhat similar one that works the same. Yeah, the trackhat ones are just cheaper. No iRacing stream is PG. Well, unless you turn off the voice chat, which is where half of the memes happen, then yeah. And I did an oval race I did oval racing for a bit. Listening to people talk for 12 laps about how they think Denny Hamlin is an asshat made me turn off voice chat entirely. You have trackIR 5. I've still got trackhat. I can't justify the cost of trackIR. If I'm going to upgrade from trackhat, it's going to be to VR. Because I can get away with pretty much any VR setup I want. I don't see myself getting into many room-sized VR games. So most of the games that I play would be flight sims, which, you know, you sit down, you play them, and racing games, which you also sit down and you play them. So I'd be, well, that's one of the big things. It's just meme land on the NASCAR races. I can't stand the oval guys though. They just don't shut up. It's like you get a 10-lap green run, and you have some dude who just will not shut up for the entirety of the 10 laps. Worth it under yellow though, because there's always iRacing fights. You had the Vive, but you had a few issues with it, so you ordered the Valve Index. Very nice, Devin. I'm thinking of getting the Rift. But I'm kind of waiting for next gen VR and to have some money to afford it. So the Rift is better than the... Well, considering I'm planning on doing sit-down VR, I can get whatever the hell headset I like. I can even get some of the cheaper ones. So I'm just looking at which ones are the highest quality at the moment. And best value for money. I think the Rift is best value for money as things stand. That can change over time, though. So if they say it's price as many drunk people, I mean it's NASCAR, so everybody's drunk all the time anyway. That's how they justify going in circles for 4 hours. Rift is better than the Vive. You're working on FS19 games, you Vorpex. See, the thing is, I don't want to do VR for Farm Sim and like maybe for ETS, but that's somewhat native. I'd be using it for X-Plane, which does have native VR. I'd be using it for my racing games, which all of them have native VR, or most of them do at least. So I'm not too pushed about Vorpex at all, frankly, because the games that I have VR support, or that I'd want to use VR for, all have VR support. Yeah, as much as I like making fun of the oval racers, there is a lot of skill involved, because just how tight they race together. It's kind of insane that there's not just a constant crash making its way around the circuit. Yeah, there's a lot less racecraft when it comes to corners, but there's a lot more skill when it comes to just straight up tight formation driving. Now NASCAR. Oh, I hate NASCAR when they go to the road courses because it shows off how bad the cars actually are. Yeah, oval's like right on the edge of crashing constantly, but when NASCAR goes to the road courses, it just highlights how bad NASCARs actually are. Because like their braking is hilariously long. They have zero grip at low speed. They don't really handle at all at medium speeds, and once they get to high speeds, they gotta brake to do anything. And you know, they're braking for a good 10 seconds going into most corners. The brakes are tiny for those cars. Yeah, but you'd think that like they've got a road course aero kit and stuff. You'd think that they'd have road course brakes that are actually reasonably sized for the cars. Hey, GD. I've gone insane again? No, I'm reading Twitch chat as well, GD. It's just that it's not showing up on stream, and it's not showing up on YouTube, and it's all broken and horrible, and I'm sad. And I'm making fun of NASCARs because they're terrible race cars. Yeah, and they don't do rain at all, even on road courses, because clearly race cars should only ever be driven in dry conditions. I mean, unfortunately, Ennis, the same can be said of Formula 1. If there's any sort of moisture on track, the race has to be stopped because it's too wet for the cars. Because the teams run them too low to the ground now. Not in snow like that. Yeah, Weck's just laughing about all of it. Like, hey, we've raced in literal snow. It's unusual for me. Totally. And 24 hours of Nürburgring as well. I remember one year they had to red flag the race for a few hours because literally all of the cars had managed to get themselves stuck. Every one of the cars out on track at the Nürburgring 12 hours one year, or 24 one year, actually got stuck because there was hailstones and the tires couldn't actually generate enough heat to put down any grip whatsoever, and they kept sliding on the hailstones. So they at the bottom of every hill there was just this congregation of cars, some of which had crashed backwards. Like, in my eyes, when the cars are literally getting stuck out on track, that's a good reason to, just call a halt to the race for a bit. Oh, Yanis, did you see the crash from the Danish... Is it the Danish GT series? Or the Danish Clio Cup or something? Where it started raining and literally half the field crashed at one corner, just continuously. GT racing is weather only matters when cars are stuck. Or have all piled into one corner. That was one of the first times I've seen a literal pile-up. Where the cars were going in so fast, even though they were just Clios. Sideways. I particularly enjoyed the bit where 4 cars were going off simultaneously. And they were all in just the same spin. Like, the first guy had spun, the second guy had spun trying to avoid the first guy. And it just kind of went backwards, and they were all in this beautiful synchronized spin. And the one guy that crashed at the end after the red flag came out sideways, if you saw that bit, when like the red flag came out, and then 10 or 15 seconds later, another guy piled into the crash, at quite high speed. He was braking for the entirety of the straight beforehand. He had literally no grip. But that is one of the craziest crashes I think I'll ever see. Where just almost the entire field of a race ended up in a barrier. Or in another car, in many cases, just stuck in a gravel trap because it was raining too hard. They were all on slicks. Going back to the original topic, that's a good way. That's a good reason to. Yeah, that's a good reason to like stop a race because of weather. Like when literally everybody's crashing, you're kind of thinking, okay, it's no longer safe. Also, we now have to rescue like 20 cars. It's gonna be faster if we just block the track and stop all of the racing. Didn't look that wet with that pile. Yeah, they were on slicks. And apparently there was just enough standing water to literally only cause aquaplaning. Yo, NHF. How's it going, dude? Yeah, admit, yes. That was impressive levels of crunch. That was maximal crunch. Slicks on waiting was yeah. Sudden rain shower equals wet track that cools tires very quickly. Been busy with uni stuff. Are you in uni now, NHF? Wow. I'm pretty good. I could have sworn you were oh yeah, in the UK you go to uni straight after GCSEs. No, in Ireland. I thought you were younger than you are. But you can take that as an insult or a compliment. I don't know which one you'll take it as. Hello, Greek dude. What are you studying, NHF? Out of curiosity. DMF, hello. Like it's been a while since I've been in uni, but I still remember some of the resources I used, and I think most of them still exist. No weird parkings today. No weird parkings today. We're being good girls today. I mean, the red flag came out after there were about 10 cars in the wall. So, I mean, it could have come out quicker, but it wouldn't have made much of a difference because there was no grip. Now, I don't know what proportion of the field it was. Computer science. Oh, I cannot help you there. I might end up coming to you for help at some point, NHF, when I start inevitably running into computer problems because I keep punishing this machine. 11 cars, red flag, meant more crashing. Yeah, there wasn't any way to stop that crash from happening. Like, short of managing to get all the teams to make a simultaneous call on the radios to literally stop on track. Yeah, Yanis, that was the guy that was braking the length of the straight, and the anchors were not working, the rope had snapped, and that was physics. Physics had dictated that he was to crash. And how? I'm really liking the gravity wagon, by the way. As like a field karting trailer. Really quite liking that. I think it fits the map really well. Like I also think that the Combine fits the map pretty perfectly. that was nature just licking the stamp and being like, you're in a wall now. I hope you like walls, because that's where you're going. And I'm laughing at the crash, by the way, because pretty much everybody, I think one driver needed some medical intervention just as a precaution. But everybody was fine. Purbeck looks good. You're watching before this. Purbeck is really good, NHF. I'm glad that nobody kind of shouted at me for getting stuff wrong. For example, you can actually get into the train and it goes off the map, but Tom told SFTN that's kind of a placeholder kind of thing. So it hopefully maybe will be changed so that you can't get into the train, or the train will be replaced by something you can't get into. But like a lot of the little issues were just kind of nitpicky things that I found. Most drivers jumped out of the cars without a scratch. Yeah, like there was literally just one guy who probably held onto the steering wheel a bit too long and got a bit of a jolt through his wrist. Would be my guess as to why there was medical intervention even needed. Was he had a sore wrist, or maybe maybe he got hit from an awkward angle and had a bit of a sore neck. But nobody was going in at stupid high speeds. Like there was no bits flying everywhere. It was just a bit crunchy. $760 has to be better. I mean, yeah, but I want to go with challenging equipment. Having a huge combine isn't really a challenge. Do I watch Netflix? No. The F3 crash. He was... People who haven't seen the crash are going to think I'm crazy for saying this. He was really lucky to only get away with a broken bone in his back. Like... The car nearly split in half sideways. Never mind going airborne. He was 5 meters up, landing head first on a firewall. And then landing like on top of, dead centered on top of the catch fence. And when he went on top of the catch fence, you could see the entire car flex. Like, how nobody got killed in that crash is beyond me. And how anybody thought putting a ramp-like sausage curb at the exit of one of the fastest corners in Formula 1 was a good idea is beyond me. Like, sure, it encouraged drivers not to go out too far, but the punishment shouldn't be near death. Sounds brutal. Yeah, NHF. Dude basically ramped off a curb that had broken. Went about 5 meters up into the air. Landed headfirst on a... well, it was apparently a firewall. Might well have been a tire wall. Landed headfirst, car on top of everything. Halo pretty much guaranteed he retained his head. The car bounced up so high that it landed on top of a catch fence. But I'm fairly certain that the big investigation the FIA will do into that is going to reveal that had the halo not been there, he wouldn't have much of a head left. Because, I mean, it landed pretty much square where his head would have been had the halo not been there. But, like, that's two massive, like, massively dangerous crashes in 2 weeks. In the feeder series of Formula 1. They need to look at safety. Whether it's car design or, in Monza's case, maybe not putting sausage curbs at the exit of super fast corners. I'm fine with them being at, like, on the inside of hairpins and in chicanes, because, like, then it's just they're just anti-cuts. But don't put them on the outside of super fast corners, because, like, if you've got a mistake or a failure at a super fast corner, the natural place for the car to go is to the outside. Well, having them on the inside of corners, I think, is fine. Because it's very rare to just see a car brake in such a way that it goes to the inside of a corner. I know it happened in Macau there a couple of years ago. But it's rare. The most common place for a car to go when it's experiencing a failure mid-corner is outside. So I don't know how it was passed as being safe. So that's the oats in, and we've got about 60-odd thousand litres of oats, I want to say now. 33 and 23. Is that 500,000 capacity? 500,000 capacity, that's fine. Unless it's spin. But even then, the natural direction is outwards. Is that an auger wagon? Nope. Gravity wagon. The big old trailer is for sales. So I actually have a system where I'm using the auger wagon for carting from the fields, and eventually, like, if I can keep this series alive for long enough, and if I can keep interest, the eventual plan is to get a couple of auger wagons and get courseplay running and stuff. But kind of the immediate plan is auger wagon for or gravity wagon for in the field, and then once we are selling, we're going to be using this bad boy, the Distinction. NVIDIA driver update? Oh god, not again. Every time NVIDIA updates a driver, something breaks. gonna need to get the... I'm not allowed to tab, I just realized. I'm gonna need to get the combine over here again, so probably the best bet is to actually let this empty. And then, put the combine on follow me, I guess? Or drive the combine, put the tractor on follow me? We're a bit safer than Windows plates. I mean, that's true. It's for games you don't play. To be fair, I got sent a key for a new game today, so it might actually be some drivers for that. Said game may or may not show up on the channel, depends on how... Number one, how much I enjoy it, number two, how PG it is. I'm gonna start making Fridays a bit more freeform. And Fridays may even result in non-PG streams. Depending on what game I want to play. So I'm thinking of doing some Crusader Kings, which that won't be PG because the game itself is not. But I really enjoy Crusader Kings. And there are some hilarious stories that come out of Crusader Kings. Like that time I accidentally got Charlemagne into a relationship with a monk. It's not too PG, then if needed, just go Twitch. That's another idea, is just to do some Twitch only streams for funsies. There's 5. Okay, it's not for any game that I have then. Also, who still plays Call of Duty in 2019? No one? Pretty much, yeah. Let's get the beacons on because we're gonna be going for an adventure after this. Because after this we need to get up to Field 23, is it? Yeah, Field 23, which has wheat. So we'll be going out on the open road with our little tiny convoy, and I can't be bothered getting a header trailer for it. They added ray tracing. Of course they did. They want maximum gimmickry. Hell, they put ray tracing into Minecraft for some reason. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks amazing in Minecraft. It also doesn't make any sense in Minecraft. I didn't crash the combine this time. Hey, SRF. Not a whole lot. Come on. Get you out of there. Get you unstuck. Have you just... Why is Minecraft suddenly a thing again? Ah, because memes, I guess? I'm not entirely sure. I know Keemstar's running like a Minecraft Mondays thing. Right. Come on, Combine. You're blocked by an object. Oh, for goodness sake! Look, that's how easy it was. You're not blocked by anything. There's nothing to block you. Stream's very late. I mean, I was going since 5:15, so no. I'm gonna get the tractor in some nice open ground up here. Is the header blocking it? It was fine coming up to the farm. I don't see how the header could suddenly be an issue. I think what the issue was that it decided to turn. There we go. You're getting bored of Fortnite, so why not Minecraft? I guess. Well, I've heard a lot of. Well, I say heard. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who are usually about like 12 complaining that the new Fortnite update has broken things. And I'm just like, well, yes, it's a game. Expect updates to break things occasionally. Well, welcome to the world of gaming, 12-year-olds. Also, that's going to mean that there's going to be more and more Fortnite ads on YouTube, which is going to annoy me more and more and make me hate Fortnite more and more. Because one of the reasons I hate Fortnite isn't down to gameplay or the people who play it. It's the obnoxious ads! Oh my god! The ads for Fortnite are just straight up obnoxious. Yeah, so in that much the annoyance of the 12-year-olds is how games work, especially competitive games. It's called balance. It's never going to be perfect, so there's always going to be something changing. Try to make a straight pipe JD7710. Let's say I need to see pictures of this, Aaron. How badly did it go? What exploded? I keep getting Fortnite and War Thunder ads on gaming videos, which is really annoying because a lot of the videos that I watch are gaming videos. So it's like the annoying Skull Man. What are you doing watching videos when you could be playing Fortnite? I'm watching videos. I play good games, weird animated skull dude with obnoxious voice. Yeah, stock market. I mean, at least you can make money out of those ads in theory. Granted, 90% of them are scams, but still. Oh god, the League of Legends ads. Oh yeah, it's a League of Legends ad, isn't it? My bad. That's why I hate League of Legends. What are the Fortnite? Oh, the Fortnite ads then are the ones with just the obnoxious music and terrible animations. Yeah, now I remember. There's like 6 characters and there's exploding rainbows for some reason. Yeah, no. That's gaming ad was Metro Exodus. And oh god, I remember when GTA 5 came out, every ad I got was GTA 5. This is for when it came out, like, originally for 360 and PS3, and I was just fed up of it. Can't see any of these chats. Do you mean on screen, on like the stream? That's not intentional, but also not fixable. Restream has done a weird and broken things. Aaron, like the ones that you're seeing are going to be Twitch chats because Twitch is being nice to me and actually working. Right, stop you and grab you. Conveniently, I intentionally planned a collision to stop the hard worker. That's totally what happened there. I never played Metro Exodus, so I can't speak of it. Landy's live? Well, that's somewhat perfect timing. We'll do this harvest next time. I'll be back tomorrow with probably Oakfield. And then I will dance with invisible fairies, invisibly. I hope you enjoy the invisible dance I do. What was that? But yeah, go watch Landy. He's on a map. Catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, I do the best outros. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.